Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Star Wars The Force Unleashed. We're going to check out the DLC. We beat the game. We chose the light side and didn't go after Darth Vader. That means we don't get to see one of the cutscenes. I would have to run through the entire final level a second time just to get to that final battle. And that really sucks. I guess maybe there was a place where we could have hit... I can now play as Sith Master, by the way, too. So you beat the game once on Apprentice, and you can work your way up to the more difficult things. But honestly, even on Apprentice, this game was incredibly difficult in a few places. So I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if this is going to be a series of levels, or one level, or maybe a third of a level. Even. I don't know. It really is going to show the weight of the DLC, and I have this feeling that in all actuality the DLC is not very weighty, and it is kind of just this ripoff. Doesn't really matter nowadays, because if you buy this on Steam, you're going to get the Ultimate Sith Edition with all the DLC built in anyways, so it's not an issue, really. But inherently, the reason why DLC exists is to create the pre-order culture where everybody has to buy the game before it's even anybody's ever reviewed it or played it, to also ensure that the price of the complete collection of products does not go down for a longer amount of time. When it's just a game alone, 6 months after the game goes on sale, the price goes from like $60 to maybe $30. When you have DLC that you stretch out there in that time, the price of the main game may go from $60 to $30, but boy, you better know they've got another $35 worth of DLC. So they're making even more money off of you. And I think I recently saw a statistic that said that's exactly what's happening, that the price of owning everything has gone up. And that's the idea, is they want you to pre-order, and they want you to pre-order with a second time with the season pass concept before the game, you even know if you're going to like the game, or anybody can review it. Now, what would be a slight slap in the face is if it turns out that the sequences in the DLC are the badly missing sequences from the main game, because this main game clearly has some things going on. And I'm in this weird outfit that kind of looks like the bad guy from episode 7. So he's got a new guy working for him, and this might be a little bit of spoilers. I didn't want to really spoiler what happens in the second game, but it looks like in the other cutscene, Darth Vader rebuilds you again, or spoiler alert, clones you, and this is a different version than the main character. That would explain the red crystal and all of that. And I guess we should go ahead and just look here. There's 5 holocrons in this. We need 600,000 points, and there's no bonus objective. And then as far as force upgrades, there's nothing. It's all unlocked. And for good measure, they have three extra points, which doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all. Why would you do that? Seriously. Let's look at what we've got for the lightsaber. Every single color crystal by default is just unlocked, which I want to try out the black crystal, and then all the power crystals are unlocked. So the one we never found was, let's see, chance to deal electric damage. We had that chance to corrupt opponents with a damaging aura. Lightning based attacks deal extra damage. We'll try that. So with all of that stuff unlocked, that is kind of cool. A black lightsaber. So we know there's 5 holocrons in this level, but that's it. And we've got a purple force lightning killing these guys. And is there anything? Sounds like I'm even breathing heavily. Oh, we didn't look at the costumes, by the way. So, did I just unlock a new costume? Yeah, they're all unlocked. So, here we have, this is what we were playing with at the end of the last, at the beginning of the last level. And then Kinto's robe, I wonder what I would have had to do to unlock that. Sith robe, which, okay, that makes sense. This is what we got for defeating the Emperor. Sith Stalker armor. I don't know what we'd have to do with that. And then Dark Lord's armor. So I don't know what really would have. It doesn't feel like the game actually gave us multiple choices throughout gameplay. Maybe if I didn't. So that guy has just been killed. We never had anything like this in the main game. This is an example of something that would have worked better if it actually was in there. That being said, it's just another prime example of them not understanding how the game was going to work, because if you fall once, you don't instantly respawn. And this game desperately needs that as a feature. An instant respawn, do a little damage to me, show me a game over screen, I suppose, if you have to. But don't fade to black and then require me to start over at the same place. Although in this case, I guess fading to black is the only option, since these things are falling downward. They need to go back in time. So a level like this could both prove to be frustrating, but also like more platformy than anything we've seen up to this point. As in these heavy hitters are knocking me around, which happened way too much, particularly at the end. I was just getting knocked down with missiles and gunshots, and then knocked down again as soon as I stood up. There's so, like, not a lot of things here, but it's kind of good. It's kind of good that there aren't just rocks I can pick up here with force grip and shoot. And I have all of these abilities, but you know, this and A never did anything. So there's an entire ability for left trigger that they didn't even add into the game. Not in the DLC nor anywhere else. Are these sentry auto turrets going to shoot me? I guess they are. I'm still not doing enough damage, in my opinion. And I'm noticing there's a lack of refills happening. And he's not really deflecting anything. And apparently I need to kill these guys until I can figure out what to do next. Am I supposed to just destroy all the turrets? Or is this another example of something being missed? Like, there's this power cord. And there's a wall here. So I have to find that hidden. So far so good. This feels like something that should have been in the main game. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a hard argument for the game to make, to say that it was going too long and they needed it to shorten, to edit the length of it and make it shorter. You can't make that with a game where you barely played 7 hours, because at the very least the number 10 means something to people in their heads. And so if they could have put this DLC in there and gotten it up to 10 hours, then they should have tried for that. Even 7 between 9 is a pretty big difference. A 7-hour game does not sound half as bad as a 9-hour game. I don't think I said that right. Let's see if we can hit this. Nope. Let's see. Jump. I've got to jump over here. Jump and damage increase. They forgot to really explain why I'm fighting. Jammed, like, so am I fighting the rebels now? Explain how I could be. Like, this would have to take place much later in the timeline. If that's the case, okay, believable. How do I get back up there, though? That's... Seriously? Game? Oh, maybe I'm supposed to go this way. Down that hole? No, that doesn't make any sense. Like, even if I kill all these people, what does it help? If I can't find a way, you come over here. This can't possibly be what they're intending. Is that I'm supposed to pick this up? Let's see, why do you even bother leveling me up? We'll take a look at that in a second, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to get a level up and get all of that because I've already unlocked everything. By default, everything's unlocked. So why did it start me with 3 extra points and now give me 1 extra point? And see, I'm trying to keep an eye out and look here and just see how long this level is. Since it only has like 5 holocrons in it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not very long. Let's get these guys out of the way. Am I supposed to... I feel like I'm supposed to blast the floor. I don't know how to do that. That way, okay. That's something we never did before in the game, and that would have worked a little bit better if it had happened. And see, that just says holocron collected. It doesn't say you've got a point or 10,000 points on this level or anything like that. And I can't just go out there on the snow, which kind of sucks. That's an interesting idea to see what the Force Unleashed really would be like if I'm taking on AT-ATs. But no, I just get to see them in the background, it seems. And there's... I don't think... like, I can lift this up. And what does that do? Okay, it gets me up to this. And that's an in-game cutscene, so that seems like something is supposed to happen. But this seems like exactly where... Seriously, I'm just stun locked. Like, what's the point of unlimited energy if you can just get stun locked by... This is why there's never that many people on screen, isn't it? They could not figure out a system in which you didn't just get stun locked and frustrated. And at the beginning of the game, we saw Darth Vader and this character, Starkiller, both making a real amount of progress. Let's see. I guess I don't even know which way I'm supposed to go. Like, is this where we started, I guess? Like, we saw them both deflecting a lot of bullets and blaster shots, and that's just stopped completely. Now it's totally possible for any enemy to hit you, and I know at the very beginning it seemed too easy. It seemed like, well, these Jedi are so powerful and these Sith are so powerful that the regular characters aren't even going to be able to do anything. But that was the point of the game. This is what I wanted throughout the whole game, was to be able to defeat enemies completely with ease. Interesting cutscene. And so here we're here specifically to just fight Luke Skywalker. And that cube that was in between us just magically disappeared. Did I destroy it with lightning? And I'm not even going to beat around the bush here. It's just going to be a really simple fight again. And this outfit looks awful. I know it's from the movie, but in comparison to even the art, the fashion style of this game, 2004, it just looks terrible. And see, I don't even think Luke would have had the ability to use a force grab and open a door. And see, I'm too busy hearing these aren't tauntauns. I forget what they're called. I'm hearing them roar over hearing the dialogue, so that was a poor point to place dialogue in the game. So I can't go this way, can't go that way, and I think that's the way I'm supposed to go. And in here, it's just a shield. I guess they needed to shield them inside so they couldn't dig through the ice, I guess. Is that something they can do? And here we go, the classic, we missed a whole middle section of level, so let's just go to a loading screen. Either that's the case or the engine is so bad that it's filling up 4 gigabytes, maybe only 2 gigabytes of RAM for level data. And anytime we see that loading screen, we should really turn around and, like, I can't do a jump and slam attack, not easily. I should really turn around and just see. Yeah, that could be the same thing. So we're not in a completely questionably different place. So what am I supposed to do with this? Pull the plug and put it somewhere else. Seems like that plug is just in the way for no reason. And there's either a pilot or particularly Luke Skywalker, and if that was like Luke Skywalker, then I just killed him easily. A lot of destructible environment ideas that they could have done a lot more with. Can I break this hollow projector? No. Remember, no bonus things. And so the Imperial troops are making their way in, and technically those guys are on our side, I think. It's kind of hard to tell because the game didn't even tell us the story or what's going on. They didn't even explain who this character we're playing as is. So if you did like I did and played the game all the way through and chose the more obvious solution, which is to become a Jedi, you won't have a clue who this person is. And that's not good storytelling. And I guess I can kill whoever I feel like it with no repercussions. And is this the way I'm supposed to go? It looks like it. And then there's nothing more here unless there's some secret. And the way the camera works when you jump up, you'd never know if there was a secret, but we've not found one so far. How much is left? I wonder. Again, we're using the Force in that awkward system. Let's see. I guess I have to cut these. So I'll just throw my sword. Interesting, look at the color of my lightsaber when it flies. It goes from being black into kind of yellow. The 501st is the group of people that cosplay as stormtroopers. So there's a shameless pandering to Star Wars fans there. Which way am I supposed to go? So here we'll just continue killing these guys, even though they're not shooting at me. It would be interesting to consider possibly having it so you don't have friendly fire on. One would hope. But I was fine with the idea that you couldn't leave witnesses, so they told you to kill everybody. That worked fine for me. Let's see. That's another holocron cube collected, which I think that probably means there's only one or so left. Just look at this though. I'm not really taking any damage, but the deflecting engine just doesn't work. Get out of the way. I just freed you. Get out of my way. And that's health drain aura. Let's see, but not enough of a health drain for that to kill them as I'm dashing. I think there is a dash and electricity move that we unlocked and never used. Let's try that. Dash and this. Yeah, there's all kinds of abilities I never used in the game, nor did I ever see in cutscenes. Alright. Bonus objective completed. We have all the holocrons. Yay. Again, this feels like something you could just jump up and be out on the surface area of Hoth. And we've got the standard Star Wars music playing. I feel like, I think his name is John Williams, was the musical composer for Star Wars, a lot of the music. I feel like he has created too much of a career on playing the same music over and over again, and he probably hasn't challenged himself very much. His music is all very much symphonic, and so when you're talking symphony music, you have to get pretty weird before it's something new, just because symphonic music has been around for a lot longer than, say, rock music or rap or anything like that. And there's really not that much to say about it, actually. I'm just saying he needs to probably collaborate with somebody, if I was to guess. Possibly ego stops that. Possibly George Lucas didn't want to change the music. The movie industry in general doesn't really care about music anymore. If you just have to look at like the Marvel movie series of movies and try to figure out what is even what music is even playing in those movies, because it's so subtle and out of focus. A lot of it too is frankly through multimedia oligarchies. That's a big word. Basically, Sony Music and Sony Pictures were allowed to be created, and so they don't have a monopoly on music or movies, but they do have enough power to force any movies to have their music in it. And often you'll see entire movies are just made for the soundtrack. Or entire soundtracks in the movies are just made to sell Sony music in Sony movies. And it's not just Sony that does that. It's also WB with, I believe, Universal Music Group, and there's another company, Disney, I believe, probably has a music wing too. Come on, snipers. This is taking too long. And we're gonna go long, I suppose. And it seems like things just respawn. And since we've already got everything, there's kind of no reason to... They're going back in that way. Go in the stupid... So I need something. And I think what I'm supposed to be using is these flying ships. So this is supposed to be really cool, where I do this. That's what's supposed to happen. But so many people are firing at me and distracting me. I don't know if I've done enough to shut down. Is that thing broken? I don't think it's broken. I think it's still moving. Just gonna try and slowly move this into place. Finally, yeah, it wasn't broken. See, this is probably going to be the end. Again, same issue here. We know we're not going to defeat Luke Skywalker. You know you're not. That changes the events of the movies. And see, this isn't even a new score. This is clearly recognizable Star Wars music playing. So I'm gonna fight him, but I'm gonna lose. In the end, I'll win and lose in the same breath. And I just kind of want to hurry up and be done with it. And it's just going to be another fight that's slightly a little too short. Darn it. I gotta hit all these quick time events now. Well, you could just force grip people off their feet. If that's the case, why didn't we ever see anybody else do that?
Now I will destroy you, Skywalker, as I destroyed your father.
Oh, so this is an alternate universe where he actually did kill Darth Vader. Game? Seriously, game? Is something supposed to happen here? I can't hit start. I can't do anything. So I as the character on the left, I'm just looking around going, do you two need some privacy? Snowtrooper is literally bugged up, and there's nothing I can do. Nothing. Every single button on the controller. Let's see if we hit escape on the keyboard or space. Well, that worked. But that caused him to put away his lightsaber. Well, I guess I've seen enough of Hoth. I'm gonna have to just control alt delete out of this, and there's probably a cutscene or something, but it's all in-game engine cutscenes, obviously, because they're not gonna show up in the cinematic viewer of the main menu. We all know what's gonna happen here. Something was going to knock me down or keep me defeated, and Luke Skywalker wasn't gonna die. Or maybe he was. I mean, if he's saying he killed Darth Vader, maybe he is actually going to kill Luke Skywalker in this alternate reality. I mean, he's just sitting here now, because now for the DLC, they have done an alternate reality, which is something I felt like the game, George Lucas in particular, wouldn't allow. This is utterly ridiculous, and just more evidence that they needed to spend more time on the game in general. And instead of this part being DLC, this part should have totally been a level in the main game, and it should have run correctly. There's nothing wrong, particularly with Hoth, except for what's happening right now. This is very wrong. Very, very wrong. But this is a common issue that actually still happens today, actually. When you do an in-game cutscene, all you need to do is either hold all the AI and mechanics for all the characters that aren't supposed to be in the cutscene, so they just freeze and disappear, or you animate them in and you script where they're going to be. What you don't do is let them continue to follow their AI and try to run towards this area and get blocked by an invincible version of their own, of another character. Obviously, if this was two just snowtroopers, they would bounce off of each other. They'd move out of their way. Hopefully they would, at least. But because Luke Skywalker is programmed to stand his ground and not move an inch, the snowtrooper can't do anything. Why that actually stopped the cutscene, I don't know. Why this whole crash like this happened, it makes no sense. Anyways, we're going to check out the other two pieces of DLC next time. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.